Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I am streaming some 2D 4X. That is a 2D 4X video game, open source, that I'm creating in Godot.net, which is the C-sharp version of Godot. Man, I think I say that every time exactly the same now. My introduction. I guess that's what it's become. This is where we're working on so far. We have 7 counties just as test counties. This is based on, like, inspired by Paradox Games and uh, Dominions and Shadow Empire and all sorts of different games. Every 2D, 4X game that I've ever played in my life, or 3D games, are all inspired by this. Or inspired by this? You know what I mean. Anyways, we're working on more research today. One of the main things we got to do here is when we go to research, and if you'll notice a lot of this is in Spanish, we're also doing localization. So when I notice things that are, I left it in Spanish so I could tell what is not translated. For example, this stuff isn't translated, but when we add something or change something on here, I will update this translation. But if this stuff's in Spanish, because I need to be able to tell if it's untranslated and I haven't gotten to the localization, as it's called. But we needed these prerequisites to work, and the issue is that I can't really assign these ahead of time, because what happens is if I drag and drop, which is what I currently am doing, this prerequisite, and then run and set it up, the game isn't actually going to know that this means this one. It's going to think it's some generic unedited one that's not assigned to. So each faction has their own research area, and so, or the research list, and so it's not going to know that this means this one, which is your faction's basic production. So the basic production for this prerequisite needs to know. I was like, wait, why does this have 2 R's? It's because it's in Spanish. So this needs to know that this is the actual one it needs to check, right? So it can't be just me dragging from over here into the inspector what it needs. So we need to basically put into the code, we need to manually write into the code, because there's also not a way to say, like, where you could just easily use like some math or something and say, well, this production basic has to have, number 7, by adding things together or whatever. So the way it's got to be done is it's got to be manually put into the code what is the prerequisite. Then it's got to assign that prerequisite over here. At least that's the way I've thought of it. Maybe there's a better way. There probably is. But currently, that's the only way I can think of it, is that we have to put it in the code when we're generating your faction. Like, hey, this is the prerequisite for this. And so we can write that in the code and be like, hey, the first thing on the list is this thing's prerequisite. The problem with that, though, is that you're going to have all this list of, like, numbers, and it's going to be confusing as fuck. So basically, if you had a list that says that primitive exploration equipment, it's actually primitive scouting equipment, Spanish again, is number 1, that's going to be confusing. So what we're going to want to do is set up some enums, a bunch of enums, because I want to have like 100 or so, at least 100, like a ton of research. That's one of the goals in this whole thing, is just to have tons and tons of research. Now, I love researching games. I love, like, how it feels to, like, get it, like, when I accomplished some new research. Like, I want that to be like a thing where you feel positive and happy that you have researched something. So a bunch of little increments. I've mentioned this before in my other channel and probably on this channel, but I really like, so in role-playing games, video games, I like when when you level up, it's in smaller increments and you have smaller improvements instead of waiting forever to level up and then you get one big change. So, like, if you get level 2 and, like, suddenly you have all these new powers, I like it better when it's, like, broken into smaller chunks. And so we're going to do the same thing with research, is we're going to break it into a bunch of smaller chunks so that you get incremental improvements over things. But right now we just got to do this prerequisite thing. And I think I was thinking about it before and whatever, before and after last stream, but I think we're going to need to have an enum for each one. I don't know. Did I change that? I don't feel like I messed with converted warehouse. So yeah, we're going to need an enum for each research just for when we put in the code. It's easier for us to see. And I think we'll probably want, because we're going to have so many enums, a new file that's like research enums research. In fact, I think let's do that, and then I'm going to regret it later because I'm going to forget why it's all on its own instead of part of the all enums script. But let's just do a new one, and we'll call it enums research. And yeah, I was thinking maybe we want to make that shorter because we're going to be using it a lot. But you know what? Fuck it, right? Yeah, I'm totally going to forget. Oh, no, it is there. I was like, where is it? Then I need to look at, we're going to pin this. We're going to move it over to here. And then I need to look at this one to see exactly how I did this. Just public class. We're going to put a namespace in here. Player space. And I don't know if I click this stuff. I got to double check everything. Double check and make sure everything is working. Taryn, how's it going? See, that's what I was checking, is to make sure my chat was coming through, and it wasn't from YouTube. Now I've clicked it 100 times, and hopefully it comes through now. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Except I accidentally deleted that out. We're gonna get rid of that. We're gonna get rid of this, and then let's double check this thing. Public class using system. We need that in there. And then we need a public enum. Public enum called, I think I'm just going to call it all. And then, yeah, I think that's, oh, I guess we don't need system. Then we're just going to need to put a list of these things, and I can actually get this list from a variety of different spots, but I'm going to put it over here. Oh, maybe I should get it the English version here. Got to go through mine. I preemptively moved this over here. I wasn't actually, here we go. Let's see. I don't actually need this game running right now. And yeah, I always feel bad. I often miss the YouTube chat because of my little thing. I gotta click this button, and if you click it too soon, it doesn't work. And if you click it too late, it does work. But so I like click it like 100 times. I wish it just automatically kicked in and knew what was going on there. So we're gonna need basic production. We're gonna need basic researching. We're going to need basic storage, and we're going to need primitive scouting equipment, and primitive, so many I's in that word, scouting equipment. All right, so these are the enums we're going to need. The other thing is whoops. Come over here. The other thing that I'm doing is I'm manually dragging these into this list. I think what we're going to probably want to do, though, is have it read from disk. I'm not going to do it right now, but pull these from disk, and then we'll label them like 1, 2, 3, so that they're in the order that I want them in. And that way, when we add an enum, we can also have it read. We might do this today. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow. But let's continue on with this plan here. and we'll get back to that if it seems like it's necessary. So the issue is that there's a lot of manual things that I got to do when I add a research or I add a skill. Like there's like a 10-step process. If I add a skill, then they're like I got to go all these things. The county improvements are the same way, and I want to kind of automate that process more because the issue is it's really bug prone. To have a human do shit, this is just filled with bugs, you know. Um, so let's see here. Let's see what we've got next. Next, we're going to go. Oh, now I can see it. Why you wouldn't use abstract classes? I don't know. Tell me how I would do that. I am a noob. I'm learning as I'm going, so there's things that I don't know, and I'm glad that I can see YouTube now. Primitive scouting equipment. There we go. So over in faction generation, which I don't think I have open. I don't see it. I feel like I should have had it open though from last time, but no. Let's go to faction gen. Oh, right. Everything got closed for some reason. That is going to be under here. Factions are being loaded from disks. One of my most hated things in Godot is I have to copy stuff around. I don't think I did copy the factions over though. Now that I think about it, I think I only copied over the maps. In the wrong spot though. Yeah, I just copied over the maps. I wonder why that isn't the case. There's got to be something that I'm forgetting. All right, so we have this add starting research. This is just for testing. Let's see. I think I want to do a new method. So how are we doing this? We're going, so this is, we're reading this from disk, then we add this starting research. And I think in here, we're going to want to do something like assign research prerequisites. And we'll run this. And this is going to be the manual thing where we're going to be manually assigning this. And it's going to be kind of a mess, I think, eventually. But we did the enums to make it less of a mess. Hopefully, less of a mess. This is manually... manually is probably not the right word. Assigns prereqs by human touch. Depending, maybe we won't do a summary yet. Maybe it will become more clear what I want to write up there. I'm overly critical of what I write over there, I noticed. Anyway, so we're going to have to, so at the beginning it's just going to be 1. Wind, how's it going? Some soda. I used to drink soda. I don't drink soda very frequently at all anymore. I'm just not into it that much. I used to like root beer. I still actually, if I order a pizza, I definitely get some root beer with the pizza. But I haven't ordered a pizza in a really long time because I feel like it's so expensive. Like it's $50 for a pizza. Assign research prerequisites. So what we're going to want to do is... Do we know what faction we're doing? We do know... Alright, we're going to pass in a faction data here. Faction data. And we're going to go faction data here. And then so we're going to go faction data dot research items. This is a list, and then we're going to do that int. I can't remember how it works, but I have it somewhere. I actually think it might be in here. I pretty much always want pizza. Let's see. I don't think searching int is gonna do me any good because there's like 1,000 of them. But I think it's like int. You know what? I bet you. Let's go over here. And I was thinking. I know I had I asked ChatGPT how to do this at some point. I'm bring this over here. Get enum length? No. Draw a line with number? I wish you could search this. Enum name suggestions? It's basically, you like tell it it's an int or something. Nested enums? No. C# enum to ints. Can't be that hard, right? It's just int. You just cast it as an int. Okay. Where the fuck am I going here? Control F. I don't think it's going to search inside this stuff for chat GPT. It's not going to search inside here. Control F isn't. I mean, we could. But I wanted to search inside of these. And that's what I wish that it had. Because I might have said whatever. All right, so we go enum, or we go int. Then we're going to do that new enums research all dots primitive scouting equipment dot prerequisite. And then we're going to go down here just so we can see it all. Are we at 2? Yeah. And then, well, I mean, no, that worked. That parts of the search works, but I want it to search inside these things. Like, I want you to be able to search this whole thing inside. Like, what about if? No, it did highlight enums, but I want it to be inside this. Like, you know, where are my pants? Now, pants would come up. I saw something that said, where are my pants? I think Joker asked me to ask. Yeah. But I want it to find, I think, like, there's some weird shit. Like, I'm surprised they don't have a search function in the whole thing. Because, you know, I could search this, and it would come up with stuff. So this one is going to be, so we need to make sure that this is the same, we're pulling from the same list, you know? Oh, that's an interesting idea. I'm going to ask it that just because I'm curious. It probably will just bring up its own thing. I do like this, that this thing tells you, in our past chats, can you find the chat where we talked about converting enums to ints? I think it's just going to put something here. It says we didn't talk about that. Maybe we didn't. Maybe I Google it. Int enums research all. And this is going to be basic production. Dots. That's it. No dots. You probably want to cast or something. Yeah. Or whatever the fuck it's called. Research item data. Oh, this is an array. Do I want that to be an array? I think it could be a list. It's a Godot array. I remember I was trying to fuck with the Godot arrays more. So we can just add this. No. Let's go back to this. Can I do an array of enums? Enums research all. Let's do this. Stinkle, how's it going? Taryn, I haven't forgot about your thing. I'm going to look up abstract classes. Abstract classes C#. Obviously, I'm not going to learn what this is with one read here. Oh, Jesus Christ. I remember looking at these things. Maybe, Taryn, did you mention this before? I feel like someone mentioned this before. It serves a base class for other classes to inherit from. Abstract classes are used to define a common set of behaviors. Oh, yeah. So this is like kind of like part of dependency injection, I think, right? And I keep saying I'm going to use it, but I haven't actually come with like this stuff. I haven't come around to where that would be useful, and maybe I just don't know what I'm doing, and you see it and it's obvious. You're like, it'd be really useful to do it right there, but I don't see that where these things would be useful yet. And like I said, it's just because I might not know what I'm doing. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing. So we're gonna do an array of. Is this gonna work? Yes. So if we do an array of these things, we can add this prerequisite to it, and then it will get the prerequisite. It's going to break some other shit that we already did, but that's okay. And then we'll know we're getting the one from the same list. So this needs to be what? Oh, but if it's an array, we're gonna have to preemptively. Speaking of enums, you need to. To make lunch, yeah, the nums. Let's make this a list, because then you can manipulate lists. Do we want to be able to manipulate the list? I don't think we do. Would we want to be able to? I don't think we want to be able to do it. We would just have to know how. How long it is, which we actually would know how long it is right here. The lists are just so much easier to deal with a lot of times. So back to the I don't know if it's an abstract class or dependency injection or what, but what I plan to do, what I want to do with the AI stuff is have different types of AI, like builders, warriors, warlords, whatever, and then have them all like a thing and a class that you would assign to the AI factions. That's my plan, at least. I'm a little bit. It's a little bit above my skill level, but you always got to push the skill level, so you can learn something new. Research prerequisites. I don't think I can just add this on here. Yeah. What does it want? Oh, right. We want to change this because this is no longer what we're doing here. We want to just add in this. This thing can get out of here. What do you want at the end? Expecting. Oh, there is a thing here. Jesus. I've got to get the brain warmed up. Yeah, so this will add. I bet you. You know what? We don't have to do this. We don't have to do this at all. What? We can just assign that here, and then it will automatically know. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, I need to be able to see my enums, though. What is your problem? We don't need to do this. For each... Well, I'll have to fix this first, though. So for each research item in... This is not a research item anymore. This is going to be an all or enums.research. And then we're going to call this enum research in this. We have a label that's being instantiated, and then we're getting the name off of this, but we're actually not. We're going to get the name. Where is this thing? This is a research item button. Do we know what faction we are? Yes, we do know what faction, because this is only for the player. So we can go players or globals, instant player faction. Dot research items dot we have to int this thing. Nope, I guess not. No, we don't. Yes, we do. Cannot convert. Oh, I don't think we can. Can we not for each this? I can't remember. Oh, this hasn't been updated yet. Research item data. I thought I just did that. I'm going to save this. Research item data. This is the one I did do this. Research prerequisites. Go back to this bug. What am I missing? This is it. No, this is a different one. For each research item dot all. There we go. That's what we were missing. So it needs to go through those, and then it puts in the research name. It's pulling it from the player faction. So this is going to work, and we can assign it in the inspector. This is the same thing we just did. Update prerequisites. This is the thing. No, this is a different thing. This is going to be research. What did I call that thing? I already forgot. I just created it 5 minutes ago. Dot all research enum. Is that what I call that? No, I called it something else. I called it like enum research. What the fuck did I? God damn it. Where'd it go? Enum research. There we go. In there. Then this is going to be player, the same thing. Player faction data. Research items. Get the fuck out of here. This thing. Why am I dragging? Why haven't I trained myself yet? Dot name. We gotta do that int thing. We can put this down here so we can see the whole thing. All right. There was another thing I need to look at, though. That's the one we already fixed. Got to change my music that you guys can't hear. All right. What was this bug? It said cannot convert research. Uh, um, maybe I'm not doing this right. I'm going to ask ChatGPT. Why isn't this working? Why isn't this working? And hopefully it will just say, oh, you'd have to convert this thing. Yeah. For each in here, bring this down here so I can see the whole thing. Just making sure that this is looking right. But this is happening before it's actually running the thing. Can I convert type? I'm gonna build this thing again here. There was something weird last time that every once in a while I felt like it wasn't building. The first time, like it wouldn't say anything; it would just sit there after it was done. So this is all east. This is all of them. This is the for each in here. What did I do down here? Because I thought you had to do it. You couldn't just for each this shit. Like I said, my brain's got to warm up. I actually did a little tiny bit of programming last night, but besides like 15 minutes. Besides that, I haven't done any programming all week. I need to have a warm up every Friday night or something. This text is this. This is research name. And this is the problem, huh? We could make this a dictionary. And we wouldn't even have to convert this to an int, but it seems like it should be fine as an array. What does this other one say? I cannot convert. Cannot. This is a list of research item data, so this is a different problem. But we can fix that one. No, that's supposed to be a list, and this is supposed to be the thing. The hell am I doing wrong here? Let's go back. Can you use for each in with enums? So I swear I had it right. Let's try the thing. But some limit specifically you can iterate over all the values using. See, here's the problem. Okay, so here's the problem. Casting of enums can be really painful. So I'm finding out. I thought I did this somewhere else, and I was like, isn't it like, so this was my thought. I think I remember this whole stream where I talked about this is what, like, isn't with enums these already numbered? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, a list of strings. Um, yeah, these are already numbers. Uh, it's funny that you say that, Taryn, because everyone in chat loves enums, including myself. It's my for thing. I don't think you can do it this way. If research prerequisites is a collection of enums, your original code is using for each. If not, you intended to enter all use get values. It's a collection. It's an array. Research. Oh man, I gotta ban someone. Prerequisites is an array. See, this is what I get. It's a Godot array. This is what I get messing around with Godot arrays. Let me ban this person real quick here. It's like a 17-step process here. Report, spammer bot, selling viewers, and submits, block the person. Then we gotta ban them, and then they're gone. And then bring back my thing here. That last night I used chat, like I said, I programmed for like 15 minutes and I asked GPT question. I forget what the question was, but it was one of these. And it added this thing at the beginning. I don't know if you guys can see this shit. It added this thing at the beginning. I did not ask it about this. It just added this and it made it so the code didn't work. I was like, what? The thing I was asking it about this, rotating a sprite, and this code's all the same pretty much, but then it added this thing, and then once I deleted that, and I was like, why did you add that, Chat GPT? Like what? But back to what we're working on here. I'm just doing something dumb. I know that that's what's going on. These are all ints, the same as the way I'm doing it. So for each one of these, let's do this. Let's go back to here, because I think this one is the one that it was having the most problem, or the base. There's two things that are almost identical. Research, this thing is set up as a public enum. That's how these ones are set up. They all have commas. This one doesn't have a comma at the end. I don't know if that matters. Does this one, do they all have commas at the end? They all do. Maybe that's the problem. That seems like that would be a, whoops, I should have just built it. Clear first, then build. I want those same things. It was probably that. I can't believe it would let me do that though. Counting too much on Visual Studio. Are you done building? I guess that did, because all I want, all I needed to do is build it so that I could put this shit in here. Basic. So this should now be primitive. Whoops. This should be now primitive, and these should all be nothing. All right, that's all I wanted to do. So it was that comma. The problem was the comma. These don't have any prerequisites. This does. So then if we manually put that in there, when we look for when we do the prereq thing, it should actually, you didn't get, oh, well, we got some issues because we don't have, yeah, we got issues here. Then we need to go back to our faction generation, and then assign prerequisites is no longer necessary. We just get rid of this crap because it's going to do it. It's going to do it automatically from the inspector. So this is wrong because I put the wrong prerequisite in there. I also noticed something when I started this. Let's see if it does it again. I think my mouse is off to the upper right corner, but I noticed something being selected over on the left side. But maybe I just moved my mouse. All right, it was not that. Okay, so this problem is that I put the wrong prerequisite in here. This actually should be basic production. Then let's rerun this thing. Yeah, there was talk, Taryn, of a long time ago. It's all coming back to me here that people were saying strings are, I think this was what they were saying, strings are unreliable. Okay, so we have this. So this is actually going to work. And I don't have to do the dumb shit that I was thinking I was going to have to do. So, and here's our little list. Trailing comment. I wonder why it fixed itself. Production, because I used to do everything with strings. Just have strings of everything. All right, so that is done. That's going to work too. So we already did this last time. Except, do we want to make it bigger? Let's look at this. There was talk, I know, of talk with myself of making this underlined and like making this underline. And we got to fix this translation still, but we'll get to that. I think this is fine for now. I mean, and this shit just has to work. So we can get rid of this. This is done. Not get rid of it. We can close it. And then add prerequisite to research just add prerequisites to research description panel. Is that already? We already did that. We already did that too. So there's something that I'm missing on this list though. So basically what we need to do though is make it so you can't select this, you can't research it. So we probably should just, I had this thought last time when I was streaming. I guess that you can still select this. We just have it turned, we have this turned off, which is what I was going to say we need to do. So we need to just turn it off so you can't assign a investigator, a researcher, unless this is done, which it currently is, but we don't have that programmed in. It just happens to be the case. And we can turn that off with our basic production here. We can do that. And then let's go back to how it's pulling that shit up. That is going to be under my research control here. It's quite possible. Like I said, I feel like last time I was having that issue kind of regularly uh, with the research stuff. I feel like maybe I should have chat up here on the screen longer over here. Like I'm looking at a different chat, but maybe something wasn't saved too. I'm usually like very crazy about saving, but whatever. So on this, we need to say, what are we doing here? Add player research to UI. This is the thing that I wrote last time because I used to have it all manually in there for some strange reason. I couldn't remember why I did it manually, so I just rewrote it last time. This is going to go through. This is going to go through. Generate assigned researchers is for this part at the top over here. Well, we don't have anybody assigned, but it would put somebody there if there was somebody assigned. Check for researchers does what? If assigned researchers dot count equals 0, assign. Okay, so this puts that title up there. It's strange that it's underneath this, but I'm going to leave it there. Clear research, generate assigned researchers for each county, blah, blah, blah. It assigns this. Where are we checking if it's done? We're doing some translating. We are assigned researchers text. Researcher HBox container. Show the researcher panel. Add player research to UI. Originally, I was going to have these disabled, but I think you're going to want to be able to click on it. This is the thing. So this is actually, I'm looking in the wrong spot. We need this in the description panel here. And this is something we wrote last time. We probably don't need this in here anymore for now. Whoops. Hit the Windows key. I guess it is next to the slash. So this does all of this. I should make this its own method. Assign researcher buttons, add researcher to menu. So what is it? If, what is this? Go through every county data that is built, and if it produces research, then add it to the assignable research list. If their activity is not equal to research, we need to go assign researcher menu button. If research is done, here we go. We can do it here. I drink a little bit of coffee. And now I'm out of coffee. So if research item data is done, or research. So the problem is there could be multiple prerequisites. So what we'll do this. We'll do check if requisites are done. And then we'll do this. We'll go down here. If for each research item data, research item data in, actually we gotta do it with the enums. Research enums enums research. The reason why I put the enums in front is I have a feeling I'm going to have a bunch. I'm going to have to break up that all enums thing and have a bunch of these, and I kind of wanted them all in the same place. Dot all enum research in research item data prerequisites. Prerequisites. I guess that's spelled right. I feel like, well, there's another one. Prerequisites, I guess. It starts looking like Quasimodo or something to me after a while. So for that one, we're going to go player. We're gonna go globals instance dot research. Sorry, player. I'm apologizing to it. Research items. Enum research. Int dot is. What did I check? What was the check if research is done? There we go. And I think this returns something though. Yeah, it returns a bool. So we'll go if is equal to false. How's this fucking thing work up here? So this is, after we do this thing, we can just return out of here. So basically, if any of these things, if we go through and any of these researches are not done, we should just return out of this, and we don't have the assign thing. We're not showing anything. Oh, I guess we're gonna have this for some reason. We'll hide this. Man. And then we'll see if this works. So it should not show up if I did this right this time because we unchecked that thing. Handle not initiated. This is that one that it just happens occasionally that I still haven't figured out what it's. I haven't really looked that hard. I think I looked that hard one day and then I just gave up on figuring out why that thing just happens every once in a while. Okay, so I did something wrong. Or let's double check. Yeah, this is not done. So if this is check if resource is done equals false. Is the research done? True would be here. It's currently false. So we want this to not show up on here. This is the thing we're trying to get. So you can't assign a researcher, basically, is the... And it's not done. Hide. For all of them in the prereqs, and this is definitely pointing towards this thing, which is what we want. What's the whole point of that thing, of doing this other thing? If it equals false, I was thinking about renaming this. Say like, is research done? We hide that thing and then we return. What we could do here is actually, yeah, we could go, mm, I need a thing here though. I need all sorts of things here. All sorts of things. We're going to do this. And we're going to do this. And we're going to do that. And we're going to do this. And we're going to do this. Except I want a name here. And then let's see what's this say down here. Oh yeah, we do need one of those things. A semicolon. And let's see. False. So this is right. Research basic production is false. I was wondering if something else was. So this should hide this button and then return. Except I know what it's doing. It's just returning to up one level. And so it's just returning to here. So what I need to do is do something else. What I could do, it's back to the thing that I always have to check every time this happens. I have to do this every single time. Terminates the closest enclosed. So that's not what we want. I think what we're going to have to do here is, because we don't care, just if one of them is done or is not done. Like, let's say there's 10 prerequisites for the thing. If one of them is not done, we need to do this. So what we need to do is actually return like a bool or something. And then we can go like this. I don't think we actually need this here anymore, because what we'll do is we'll have this thing return a bool, and then we'll have like this same check up here. We could actually have it right in here. We can have an either or situation. So that's going to return false. That's fine. At the bottom of this, we need to return true. So if any of these things happen, it's going to return there. Then we can go back up. Did I delete this thing? I didn't. We can go back up to here, and then we can do our or thing. We can cut this. I don't know what I just hit there. It was not what I wanted to hit. Check. And I guess we'll leave it check, because that is the same as this thing. And then is equal to false, or, yeah. So that's what we're going to have to do there. One day the return, break, or continue thing will finally stick in my brain. I have to look at them every single time. There's a bunch of shit I got to do that with. All right, so that's off now, which is what we want. But let's double check that other things are on. What are we doing over here? I don't know what we're checking there. That's off because it's done. That's on. All right, so this is working. So we can now assign an investigator. It's kind of weird how that happens, but I'm like that. The OR goes away. But I'm not going to worry about that until we get to the beautification process of the UI. I think that's going to be brutal. I'll have to have an artist at that point, probably. But the more brutal thing, I think, is going to be when we start adjusting the size of the the monitor. You know, I stream on my other channel a bunch of often stream on uh, indie games, and the thing that I've noticed a lot is that on my other computer I have larger screens, and a lot of indie games can't handle the larger screens well. They have issues. They can handle this size screen, but it's the 4K screens that it just struggles with. Um, it's actually been an hour, so I'm going to take a quick break. That was perfect timing. And let's look at what we're doing next so I can think about what we're doing. What do we want to do on this list here? We're almost done with this. I mean, I know it's there's five things on here, but compare it. Make sure the population will research higher tier. Probably we should double check this. I think we already did that. This we haven't done. This is what we're doing. So yeah, we'll double check this when I get back. I am going to pause my music that you guys can't hear. This song is terrible. Anyways, so I'll skip it while you guys can't hear this, and I'm going to put on my break timer, and I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. All right, I'm back. I was thinking while I was outside, 10 years from now, someone's going to suggest something, and I'm going to be like, I don't know, I'm a noob. It'll be 10 years of programming experience, and I'll still use that as an excuse. I don't know. I should probably do some more C# classes, but I find them so boring. That's the whole problem, is they're very boring. Make sure the population. All right, so let's go back to our thing here. This is going to be, I don't think I have any of this crap open. We don't really need this open. We don't need that right now. We don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. I don't think we'll need that. Oh, actually, we have something open. Looks like we're not using that, though. In work for all of the world population. This doesn't make any sense. We probably can get rid of that script. I'm always trying to delete out old shit. I'm hitting Control S there. Let's see what this is. Let's get rid of this if we're not using it. Are we using this? I don't know. Let's search or run it, and then search in here. Filter. I guess it's not a search. I hate that you can't search in here. I thought maybe I missed a button, but no. Then we'll run this for like a day or something and see if that appears. There we go. And then we'll say, what are we looking for? Population daily research. Population daily. No, we're not using this. So let's get rid of this thing. Let's delete this script called work. And if it implodes, we can fix that. Oh, I've gone too far here. What are we looking at? Scripts. It's not a public class. It's not a UI. It's just normal old. We can delete a script. Then let's hit run again. And we don't get any bugs, but let's run it for a couple of days just to see. And we're going to stop that. That's fine. All right, work's gone. Back to what we were doing, though. It's going to be under, actually, this guy here, I think. So we have, so what basically what it's, I just wanted to make sure that it's going to, when it's doing research, it's going to actually, is pointlessly working at a research office. Is working at some place that is producing nothing. I don't remember those checks at all. So so how it works is we assign, so it's not under population. It could be under here. Well, this isn't the banker. I feel like increase research amount with bonus. This is going to put in the population. This isn't where we want either. What we want is under county. I don't think it's under county data. Check for any work. Maybe it is. It's going to be easier to find if we just look at county, though. Where are we at here? So we can go through. Workday over for population. That is going to include research. And this is in the population AI. So it should go back. Oh no, here it is. Add research for office research. That's actually, this isn't what we want to check, but let's check this anyways. No, this is going to work. So how this works, I should have left this running. So how this works is if you have someone assigned to an office, you know, if they assign themselves to an office, to the research office, then they'll appear on, well, okay, we're not on there. They'll appear down here on this list, and you can assign them to the actual research. So that doesn't matter. What we need to go back to is, where's our county? County, where'd you go? Occasional needs, population research is what we need to look at. Check researchable research list. What does this thing do? If it's done, we add it to this. So this is basically the same thing we just did. We need to have it check its the tweens. I don't know if I'll need the tweens on this game. I was kind of vaguely thinking about that. What he's referencing is I was talking about there's a problem. I don't think it does it anymore because I changed the. No, it still does it. You can kind of see that when it moves, it's like kind of jumpy. Yeah, that's fucking bad. I thought it would fix it more, but it's has some sort of stuttering going on, and I was thinking maybe I'll use tweens instead. Maybe I do need to do it on this one. I don't know. I thought we fixed it with the async change, the vsync change. Um, um, but maybe we didn't do it on this one. Oh, it's on mailbox on this one. That's weird. Because I just fucked around with mailbox in my. That was with the 15 minutes of programming I did last night. Yeah, I picked mailbox for that one too. Anyways, that's what he's talking about. I was thinking about trying the tweens thing. Yeah, that's terrible. That looks awful. I would just fuck with it right now. But we're gonna work on something else. We got to finish this. Create researchable research. So we need to have that check. Where did I put that check? Was that in the research item data? Because it check if it's done. No, I didn't. I put it under in the research description. It's right here. So let's do this. Let's move this. Let's cut this. Let's put this in research item data. We'll put this in here. And then we're going to need to pass in a faction data this time though. Faction data. And then we'll put a faction data. Nope, you're doing this all wrong. Faction data, and then we'll go faction data. No, wait, what are we doing here? We need this. Why are you mad at that? It does not exist in, oh, you're right. It doesn't exist because we're inside of it. No blue guy. I don't see, I see a D. Check if prerequisites are done. So that, we just broke something, but it shouldn't be that. So what we'll do here is we'll do this same thing. We'll put that there. We gotta put this back to, oh, you're not gonna control over to there for me? I don't know why that stops working sometimes. Probably we can make this static. I guess we'll see. No, we can't because of that thing. All right, so that hopefully will still work. Then back to what we were doing, which was, I already forgot, we need to go back to our population AI, add researcher for, no, we need to go to our county population research as in faction data. Create researchable research list, or research item data dot check if prereqs are done. We'll put this down here. Is equal to true? This is going to be different. This is going to be and. If it's, what are we doing? Okay. If it's not done, if the research is not done, but its prereqs are done, it can be added to this list. I'm going to look at something real quick. Is there a blue guy over there? Oh, there's no blue guys anywhere. What is the blue guy that you speak of? I suddenly am very curious. So I think this is right. If the research is not done and its prerequisites are done, we add it to this list. And this is what I was wanted to double check. So how are we going to test that without filling up our logs? We could put a for each here. We just have to wait till 1 a.m. Right here, we could do this. For each research item data, research item data 1, whatever, in researchable research, GD print, researchable research plus research item data 1, research name. And this should give us a list then of all of the possible research that they're going to be able to do. Let me look. Oh, I don't know if I've seen that one before. Can I bring this over here? Come over here. There we go. That guy. Twitch has also the one you have to be like an affiliate. I was an affiliate for a while on my other channel, but I didn't like the ads. The ads just blasted. That poor viewer was just blasted with ads. So I asked them to remove my affiliate status. And they said, sure. They said, no problem. They actually were quite nice about it. I expected them to kind of be dicks about it, but they were like, nah, whatever. If you don't want to be an affiliate, you don't have to be. So we're going to have this run till 1 a.m. And then we're going to look for here. And what did I call this? Researchable research. Okay, so they have production and storage. That is correct, but let's double check this by going to here and doing that. Yeah, there's all these rules. You can like pre-run ads, and I tried to do it. You know, I take a 5-minute break, or less than 5 minutes, I guess, and I would always try to run them during there, but then people were telling me that they were also run just all the time. And I adjusted these settings and I tried all this shit, but it just wasn't worth it. And I don't like, even, I don't know. I just hate advertising too is another thing. So we got to go to 1 o'clock here. So now we have basic storage. So this works. This is what we want. So this is fixed as well. That was surprisingly easy. No, I guess my brain's getting warmed up. I don't know. We're getting lucky. We're going to close this issue. Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, it makes sense. Twitch has to make money somehow, but I feel like they take 50% of your subscription amount. You should be able to turn off ads completely. And I thought that you could. And just be like, well, if you're taking 50% of my subscriber thing, then you should, you're getting enough money. But I guess Twitch isn't doing that well, money-wise, from what I understand. We need a failure rate in resource data. That's going to be somewhat easy because we're just going to slap it in there and then that's it. But we need that for the future. And what that is, not in research. Yeah, resource data. So basically, what we want, I don't think I have this open, uh, is like a percentage chance that every day using this an item will have it fall apart. We'll have it stop working. We're not going to do like a durability where it keeps like a count. It's just going to check every day. Or maybe we'll have a weekly one and it will check once a week or something. But right now we're just going to put in one and we'll decide. We might have to adjust it later. Resource. It's going to be a county resource data. It's going to be at this level. And we're going to have it, we'll put export public int failure rate. Daily chance of the item to fail. So this obviously isn't going to work for like wood is going to have 0, you know. Yeah. Oh, did you? I never check my email. That I have like a couple of junk email addresses that I just sign up for everything on. I never check those. What are they changing? Okay, so that is all we needed to do there. We just need to put that in there, and I guess we should put in a failure rate. They're going to be 0 for our county level stuff, and it looks like it defaults to 0. And we're going to have like some ridiculous. Okay, 10 isn't that, but I mean, every 10 days you would lose one, and you know it's random, but that makes sense though. It's going to be garbage, and that's one of the things like improvements in the equipment would reduce that failure rate. All right, I gotta skip this song that you guys can't hear. It's Social Distortion, Ring of Fire. I can't do it. Heard it so many times. Let's go to the next thing on the list. We're just knocking this shit out. County resource scouting equipment. We already did that, I'm pretty sure, because I just adjusted. That's the thing I just adjusted. So let's make sure that this doesn't have any notes in it. No notes. We can close. On feedback from students like you, we've created a new add density slider and reorganized where features are partnered. You'll also now see the revenue estimates that used to be part of the. So maybe they're trying to adjust, because that's probably a major complaint is the amount of ads. It's different, you know, and like different streamers do it different ways. I haven't been like, you know, my despising of ads is a thing. But I haven't seen it like too bad. Occasionally I've watched like a random person and they'll be in the middle of like an important conversation and suddenly ads will appear. And I'll miss it. But, you know, it's like FOMO. The ad, it's probably not important. All right. Add equipment to the top bar. So up here, we have some things, and we need to add equipment. When we add equipment, this pause thing is going to be in the way. But we can put the pause thing down here. The reason why I didn't like it down here, because that's originally where it was, is it was kind of hard to see. Yeah, yeah, right. It was kind of hard to see here. But I guess we'll put this pause back down here. Well, let's look at how I did this. Is pause like just laying over the top, or is it just by coincidence, or is pause actually? Yeah, I think pause is just laying over the top. No, it is here. Is it part of this? This is a panel container. This is the H box, though. It's not part of the H box. It's just sitting on top. And it happened to have worked up until this point. So let's move it. It probably used to just sit out here somewhere. Let's put it over here. We'll make it visible so we can see it. And I mean, I can just move it down for now. We can just put it, 31 down or whatever. Wrong one, though. Like that. Once again, this is going to be kind of 22 minutes to 30 seconds. That I feel like old TV had so many fucking ads. That would remind me of old TV. Let's see how this looks here. And let's see if we broke anything else moving that out of there. We may have. I think that was the whole issue, was it was just hard to see. So I moved it on top of the gray box there. I noticed this moved suddenly. I mean, it works. Yeah, it does. It moves around a little bit up there. Yeah. Man, I'm so glad. I for a while I was like, Hulu had the best shit. That when Hulu first came out, there was no ads, and I remember vividly one day I was watching something on Hulu and I was like, I can't believe this shit's free, and then an ad appeared and I never have ever went back to Hulu ever again. I was so I was like, fuck this, I'm never going back. Uh, Even though I probably could pay for it. The streaming thing is so out of control, I feel like. Uh, Man, it does do this every day, but I guess it doesn't matter. I mention this all the time. I wanted to watch some Star Trek, The Next Generation, current project, and you just can't. Unless you pay for Paramount or something. Yeah, and I don't want to pay for another one. And then, I pay for HBO or Max or whatever the fuck it's called, and I haven't watched a movie on there in months. I feel like I should just cancel that. And then I could get Paramount for a couple of months and then cancel that, or it's just such a clusterfuck. For a while, it was just easier just to have Netflix, and, everything was on Netflix. Now it's broken into all this stuff. I'm not really a big Star Wars fan. Like, I think Star Wars is cool, but I'm not like a huge Star Wars guy. But I would like to watch some of these Star Wars shows, but I don't want to pay for Disney, you know? Yeah, well, then yeah, Amazon Prime has certain shows too. What was a show that I really wanted to watch? Everyone was telling me. It wasn't. There was that space one, which I can't think of the name of it. I think it starts with an E. That I watched part of it on Amazon Prime because my work used to have an Amazon Prime account that gave me access to the show, so I'd watch that. But then I don't want to pay for Amazon Prime because I use my work's Amazon Prime to order stuff. It's just whatever. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It just drives everyone to pirate stuff. Uh, like everyone I know, they just go on piracy. It's over now. And when I say everyone, I don't know anyone. All right, what are we doing? We're done with that thing. And add equipment to top bar is what we're doing. So let's look at this top bar. This is gonna be kind of, yeah. See, that's the problem. And then, like on Paramount, it's just next gen. I guess it's 3 shows: Next Generation, Voyager, and DS9. I watched a review of the new Picard show because everyone I know told me it was terrible. So then I watched an actual review, and they went into details about how terrible it was. And it doesn't seem like I want to watch that. I was so stoked when they announced that. I was like, oh my God, they're going to have like a Picard thing. He's going to be like an archaeologist or something. He might be like Admiral Archaeologist. Nah, nah. Uh, okay, so maybe this won't be awful. I just have this feeling it's going to be. So let's look at this though. Probably we want to put. Eventually, we're going to have like a caravans that will be moving stuff around between. So we are going to. This is the faction level. We're going to have an equipment thing that will go right somewhere. I think food on the right, building materials, equipment should probably go between food and. Oh, we got to come up with an icon for equipment. I don't think I got one last time. I remember looking at some icons. Let's look at graphics. I don't think we did. We just had scouting equipment. Yeah, we need like a general equipment icon. So we can go to here and use this wonderful icon. Site equipment. What do we got? Light backpacks, boomerang cross. A boomerang cross? Yeah. Book. I thought Book of Boba Fett got bad, is what I heard. It started out really good. Mandalorian, I do want to see, but is that bad now? We could do it now. I'm surprised that there isn't. What happens if we put in like stuff? What do we got over here? Buildings and places, symbols. Let's see what they got here. This is going to be all like, no, actually, it's not as, I was thinking more like arrows and stuff. There are a lot of arrows, but. A boom. A Discord watch party? Wouldn't the quality be all low? Or are they streaming it on Discord, or you just talk on Discord and while you watch it yourself? One of my friends was doing like watch parties on Twitch, and he said like people in chat keep telling me I'm gonna get in trouble, and I don't understand why. And I was like, well, what are you watching? And he didn't read the rules that you have to like watch Amazon Prime stuff for the watch parties on Twitch. He didn't get in trouble, but he probably was, if he had enough viewers, he would have. I don't see any equipment stuff. Or, what's another way we can. What's another thing? Another way, stuff, a box, equipment, machinery, maybe? Machine gun. This doesn't really have to be all that. A vending machine? A machine gun. What if we just put part of this in here? Drowning. What's our advanced search give us? Banknotes. Let's go back to popular ones with random colors. What about symbols, bodies, spike, fix, tool? This might work. Something in here has got to work. So Boba Fett, of course, like every kid, was like my favorite Star Wars character when I was a kid. I don't know why he was so cool. We had all these theories about why he was what he was, even though he was only in the movies for 30 seconds. Just we're talking about the original trilogy. And I don't know if I want to have those dreams ruined by watching a show that has him in it. You know, the hypotheses, and you know, like the Sarlacc pit or whatever the fuck it's called. We didn't believe that he was dead. We're like, no, no, he can't be dead. No, that blacksmith for a second, I was like, that's what we should do. Lockpicks. Um, it's not really. It doesn't really matter. I was thinking we would. Not that. We're using that for something else, I think. And there's a lot of tools options, but none of them. That would have been good for building materials, and if maybe that's yeah. Yeah, it's crazy how everyone. And I had a Boba Fett. I might still have the Boba Fett thing. It's obviously not like I played with it. You're not allowed to play with it. It's a value. I was a big GI Joe guy too. I had like tons of GI Joe. All right, I don't see anything in there. Um, Parent tag is machine. I'm overthinking this here, I think. Look at that RAM. It's just got to be something. A gear? A gear? A poke cog? Electronics, robot, tool, vehicle, boat, steampunk, science fiction. What does science fiction get us? Lots of robots. Maybe we could, maybe a gun actually, a bolter gun. Maybe a gun might actually be fine because that's what it's kind of. I think like a gun is. We're gonna use this bolter gun. That's what we're gonna do. And I'm using SVGs, I think. Yeah, I'm using SVGs. Uh, and we're gonna bring this. It's 1K. Is that possible? I feel like that's impossible. Um, I mean, it opened up. Let's see. So this is going to be for faction level. So on the faction level, it's going to be kind of a pain. Top bar icons, I guess. Did I make? Oh, these are all PNGs. Building material isn't though for some strange reason. Did I just dump these things? Oh, they're all different sizes and shit. Cool. I mean, they're two different sizes, but it looks like actually it just the capital icon is different, and it's actually used for something else. These are all 512. Let's put this thing in here and see what we get. Okay, I just dropped it in there in the past. I think I had to make this one smaller or something because that's used for, it shows where the capital is for each county. And I don't really like where this is, but that's fine. So we're going to duplicate this food thing. Actually, I guess we'll duplicate the building. And then we will do, this is going to be called equipment. And this is going to be called equipment. I guess we could get rid of that. Oh, not equipment materials, just equipment. Favorites in the file system. I didn't even know you could do favorites in the file system. Building materials number. Let me rename all this stuff. Amount used. equipment. One more. Let's see. Right click and you can mark them as favorite. All your favorites appear at the top. Let's pretend like we wanted the one to be here. Add to favorites. Oh yeah, it's just like this. It's just like the thing I use up, on here, like the quick access. It's actually not a bad feature. I'm gonna remove this thing, but you can put scripts up here. I'm always looking for scripts and having to scroll around. That's actually not a bad feature at all. My globals is what I should pin up there. Okay, so let's do this. We have two different things. You know what? No, this is how we want it, except we have the wrong image. We got to put the graphics. Lists, graphics, top bar. We need this to be here, and we want the bolter gun. And there it is. Yeah, no, digging through multiple, drilling down to the end of time is a classic human maneuver. All right, so that looks right, but I think the problem we're going to have... Oh, we have a signal on here? What do these signals do? Oh, it's a mouse enter? I'm glad I copied it then. Oh, yeah, I remember this. For some reason, I had to do it on all of them. There was I was watching somebody, and they had a different way to do that. And I forget what it was, but if I should have written it down when I saw it. Wrote it down? Should have wrote it down. So then for our top bar, though, we're going to need some stuff here. We're also going to have to do some counts and things. Label, equipment, label. And then we need another one, equipment amount used, looks right. And then what are we doing down here? Update resource labels, which goes to this, updates, influence. This is going to do that. County level, update label with county amount. We're going to keep an eye out here for any language. You know what? We got to do it. We got to go in here. There isn't, so time and day and research. We're going to do the translations on this right now too. Since I said if we worked on like a panel or whatever that we would do it. So we're going to do it. We're getting there, though. I feel like probably 50% is currently translated, which isn't actually that bad. So we're going to need day. We're going to need word day. Word day. This will be day. And then we're going to need word time. That's going to be time. And what else did we see on here? Time. Day, we'll do pause too, since we did just fuck with the word pause. Pause. And we'll do, and this is why I always complain that I hate that when the video games are just a bunch of icons, and I don't know what the fuck our icons mean. I always complain about that shit, and the reason why they do that is so they don't have to translate them. That's what dawned on me one day when I was complaining about it. Research. We already have it here. Delete. Sex. None. Then let's go back to here. Speed. I hate how Excel does that. Word, speed. Then We'll translate. And then we'll copy. Then we'll go and paste. And there we go. So, man, Spanish is almost always longer. Now, I think we don't need to translate any numbers. You know, one of my friends who's in Canada pointed out that using flags for languages is terrible. And I was like, what a weird thing to complain about. But now I can't help but see it everywhere. That they use the English, the UK flag, whatever, the British flag on everything when they want to talk about English. They want, well, you know, you go to a website and you have it to pick what language you want, you know, or it says what language it's always the British, you know, it's not the stars and bars. What's it called? The cross, I can't remember what that flag is called. But anyways, you know, the cross, it's got the X and the British flag. This thing. It's always that thing. Union Jack. There we go. Yeah, Union Jack. It's always if it's language thing, and it's like, but that's not what we're not speaking that type of English. And then just recently, I had a coworker ask if I could send them something in Spanish, and I was like, yeah, Latin American Spanish, right? And they were like, there's different types of Spanish. Yes. um, I know. Canadian English is completely different. I mean, completely. Yeah, I think they forgot about Spain Spanish is what happened. All right, so we got this shit. You know what I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna put these things in here before I forget. If I can scroll up, this needs to be our new equipment labels here. Amount used. I guess. It's weird that I have these labeled differently. But yeah, that's number. I usually try to be very anal about that and have it perfectly lined up. Update influence money label, update money, used money. So at the county level, we have to update the county amounts, update label with county amounts. So this is going to be, how are we doing this? We're just counting it. So, all right, so this isn't that bad actually. So we're gonna just do equipment. I was actually a little worried here that we're gonna have to rewrite the fucking, whatchamacallit. Yeah, I've already encountered that. What did I test that with? I think it was actually Spanish, where it immediately started to flip out. And I found that there was actually like a button or something I just had to push. It wasn't that horrible of a change for the font, because I was getting those blocks. What was the solution for that? But yeah, there was some easier solution than I originally thought. So there we go with that. But then we need to have this same thing. I guess I should have just copied this whole line. It would have been easier. And then we change this to equipment. Update label with county used amount. We're using this at the faction level. Oh no, that's right. Then we don't care about this. We don't care about this. Faction level resources. Are these not the same? Oh, we have like different lists or something that were. Yeah, I think I posted on my Discord about when I was struggling with that font issue. But like I said, it was surprise. It was easier to do than I thought to fix whatever the thing was. You know what I think it was actually? I think it had to do with how I was converting my CSV, if I remember correctly. So it wasn't the font or anything. It was that my CSV was UTC 16 instead of 18 or whatever. All right. I have a feeling this is not going to work this easily. If this is this easy, then let's look at our equipment uh, thing. Oh yeah, we gotta save this. We gotta re-import this. I almost forgot. And these should now be in Spanish. These things at the top. No, that would be a lie. Those things are not going to be in Spanish yet. This should say. Gotta type it right though. And then what else did we change? Research. And then speed. And then pause was the last one that we did. Oh, it's paused. I think I put pause. Motherfucker. Yeah, I put the word pause. And it's the same word. Close that. Run the game and then look for bugs. While we wait for that, I'm going to skip this song that you guys can't hear. Vanilla Muffins. I've never heard of them before. All right, no bugs. There's something weird going on here, though. 3 equipment. If we close this, they have 0. It's not doing this math right. So that should add up all of these. I'm not sure how we're getting 3 of those. It should be 0. I wonder if, well, let's look. How is it getting this shit? It's pulling this directly from equipment. Just making sure I didn't forget to change because I was copying and pasting shit. Amounts to string. Update labels with faction amounts. Count all county resources. How are we doing here? For each county data in this, zero faction county resources. Um, So there's we zero. I wonder why we. Oh, we did this. We could. So I was like, I wonder why we're doing this manually. Why aren't I just for eaching all of these? I think I'm doing it manually, but we can still skip the first two. We aren't zeroing out. Why not for each this and skip the first two? Same with this. We can do a for each and then a for each. So this is remnants in it. This has remnants up there. Where's remnants on the bar? Remnants are before building materials. Oh, you know what I didn't check and it didn't work? Was this? It should have worked. This is re-imported. I don't think you can do that mid. Oh, you know what though? It doesn't have it's the colon. This happened on another one. Research though should have. All right, let's get sidetracked here. This needs to be moved up though to here. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but and then wait. Yeah, remnants come before building materials, so I like to keep this shit in the same order just for later if I'm ever like looking at something. I'm like, where's this thing? You know, like just for future stuff. And like this is in the right order. Didn't I just zero out these faction things? No, it's a different one. What is this other thing? Zero faction county actual used resources. Amount used faction resource. These are identical almost. I guess I just wanted to add some extra work for myself here. This is almost, we could have just passed in the list, almost identical to the other zeroing out thing. Oh, definitely, but I was meaning like, why did I have these? I could have just passed in this list, these separate things. But then also I could have just done a for each. This same exact thing. Why not a for each? And maybe I didn't know I could skip things. I felt like this is somewhat recently. The first two. So the first two things are money and influence. Those wouldn't get zeroed out. Wouldn't get. I don't know. They're not getting counted the same way. Well, see, like this is I'm doing. I listened to some old punk rock the other day. I'm hugely into punk rock. I'm an old punk rocker. And my playlist is now descended into ska and like tratty skinhead stuff. And so I keep having to skin it. I was never really into like the skinhead stuff. I'm not talking about like Nazi skin, like traditional skinheads. This is the skinhead anthem. I know you guys can't hear it. I'm skipping it. Whatever. I was just looking at it like, what the fuck? For each. So I did like a for each here. I don't know why I wrote it like that. But this one is going to go through each one. See, I wouldn't have had to even add this in if I just did a for each. Should I just rewrite this right now? I wonder why. There's probably a reason that I wrote it lame like that. All right, then we're going to do the same thing here. Count all county. We could have done this too. With like this is one of those things where it'd probably be better if I just rewrote the whole thing. Equipment. So for each county, for each faction resource. Well, I guess it'd be for each enum. But we could, I think, I don't know why I'm looking at this. I'm pretty sure that things are, these are in alphabetical order compared to the other things are in a different order. But I mean, we could also put in an if it's not those two, whatever. I guess I'm not going to fix that right now, but I think it's strange that I did it that way. Maybe I just wasn't thinking through what I was doing. Maybe I was just trying to, sometimes I set up stuff like this as like a test. Like I'll do 2 of them as a test to make sure it's working, then go back. But maybe I just never went back. Maybe I was just tired of working on it. I think for that part is done. Let's go back to our top bar thing. So count all county faction resources and count all used. I think I did those. Update labels with faction amounts. I think we did these. We got our equipment there. Top bar, we can go back up. So that's faction level stuff. Let's double check at the county level. Update labels with county amounts. I think we already did this. Yep. I think this should hopefully. I think I have a for each loop in faction generation or county generation actually, where it's assigning. I think you should get one thing, one per. So I don't think that's right. I would think this should be the same. So it's this is counting. Oh, this didn't translate again. This is the colon definitely, but this should have translated. This is the colon as well. That's probably, what I know what I got to do there. This is from code. This is 2. This is not. This one should have. I wonder if you have 2 things in here. Word research. Bet you word research has a new line at the end. That's always the case. Yep. Oh, it did it in it did it in real time. 3. So this should be 1. Yeah, there's something that's not. Let's look at our county generation because it's probably could be in county generation. I thought I did like a for loop in county generation. Update resources. Copy and assign resources. Update scavengeable. What is this thing doing? Just making sure that we don't have that dumb like individual shit in there. because this is part. That's part of the like. This is not. This does not have the dumb individual shit in there. Uh, assigned county, assigned faction. They assign them to each other. That's subscribe to the county hero list. Update resources. Updates. Copy and assign resources. This is adding. Let's look at something here. So we have two different things here. We're going to have county resource, which is our primitive scouting equipment, which has the county resource type and the faction resource type, which is right. Let's double check. Here's our problems. Everything's set on equipment. This should be food. I swear I've changed this like 6 fucking times at this point. Remnant, food, building material. I guess I changed some of them. So there's one problem. Let's double check these things. Building material, equipment, food, influence. So this is part of like, earlier I was talking about there's like 40 steps when you add something in. I need to like set it up. So like, instead of me manually going through this, like have it go at the beginning and just like have it assign the enum to its resource type by alphabetical or whatever. Like I make them alphabetical and have this, and it, gets the list together and it just assigns it on its own, so I don't have to go through and do this because it causes so many issues because I haven't done it. And then there's some problem, then I got to debug it. And then it is I need to take the human factor out of this crap. And maybe I'll put that on my list to do. Okay, so now our numbers look better. So we should get one from each county, and then we have a variety of different food. We have different food, vegetables, fish, and canned goods. So this now should be 1 and 3. And then I had a flash of something I needed to look at. What was it? Oh, it was we wanted to make sure that this isn't perishable, which it's not. So, all right, that now works. That was actually less painful than I thought. Let's do something else, though. Let's let this run for a second, then we'll fix those translations. I was about to say, this looks like this is running really slow, but we're actually only seeing part of this. Yes, that is right. Because we don't get, we're not getting any of those. And so it hasn't gone up or down. Building materials, I guess we're not getting any of those either. Yeah, that's probably correct. Yeah, whenever I look at old code, I'm always curious why I did certain stuff. And I wish I could remember. I need to put more notes on there because there might be a legitimate reason. No, there's probably no reason. I probably didn't know how to do it or something. All right. I'm going to take a quick break, though. And I'm going to pause my music that you guys can't hear. And I'm going to put on my break timer. If I can get this to reappear. There we go. And we don't want it on this white screen. There we go. I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. All right, I am back, and turn this off and start music that you guys can't hear. And with full path, it helps to hold your job. Uh, no, I don't have a concrete plan. That's part of the whole deal. I guess I haven't talked about that in a long time, but I used to talk about it all the time, and like just winging it, just going through each part, winging it. Um, it's definitely not the way to do it. I'm in agreement there because I keep having to add things in, uh, especially like the data containers, I'm going to call them, I guess. Like research item data, I add something in, then I gotta go fix it. All of the enums are that way. Like I add an enum, and then I gotta go fix them all. Shit like that. Uh, yeah, it would definitely be better to. I am in agreement there. Um, that definitely having a plan would be better than just winging it through the whole thing. My plan is just all of these notes, which are not, all that helpful. We are done with this thing though, and it's working. I mean, they're helpful, but they're not. They're not. Uh, they're not exactly what we want to do long term, especially with data stuff. And that's the big issue is the data containers. All right, we're gonna be now onto here. And we're going to put this at the bottom again, even though I always bring it just back up. I don't know why I put it down here. Start menu, tooltips, storage. We're almost there. Okay, so we're back to county improvements. I don't know if I want to. I keep saying that I'm going to work on tooltips, but I don't know if I'm going to like as I go, so that it's not such a monumental task later. But I don't know. I think adding a county might be more fun. No, we'll leave it. We'll leave in that order just to remind myself. Uh, Under construction list isn't alphabetized. Is that true? I feel like that isn't true, but maybe it is true. Oh, we have to fix those things first. We got to fix the top bar things. Top bar controls. So the problem we're going to be running into here is those are all numbers. Yeah, it's because my memory is so terrible too. Like that, my memory is awful. So uh, it's got to be. So this thing, we're gonna need this to have a thing. Now this is like some German skinhead song that you guys can't hear, and who knows what that's about. I guess I can just do this. Time, day. I did another one of these. Yeah, the task list keeps going. I watched a video about, what is that guy's name? The guy who made like Dungeon Keeper and Peter Molyneux, is that his name? And how he gets in these, when he talks about his games, he basically just, anything he can think of, he says will be in his game. And I was like, I do that, but I always say that I'm joking, like not joking, but I add these ridiculous features that I want to add, but it's not like I'm promising that they're going to be there. I hope people get that I'm not promising that stuff because it would be. I swear I used a colon somewhere, and I was just making sure I wanted to do it the same way. But I guess not. I don't see one. So paused. Oh, paused worked. Research worked. Speed. whoops, not a quote. And then we'll go back over to here. I guess this isn't programmed in, updated with code. And then we just need to get rid of this. Day, hour, speed. And then, let's see. Casper, how's it going? And now we have some translations working. But this, we're going to have to expand this. We're going to have a minimum size on this. Probably somewhat large. Because we don't know the lengths that are, the different. That's speed. Probably, I don't know, 50. Whoops, not that size. The label, 50, whoops. No, X was right. That's not enough. 75, 100, 5,000. Okay, I'm just making sure I'm on the right thing here. 150. Four of them. Man, that's a long time. I guess that works. 169 to go. Yeah. Yeah, they're long, and I often joke that I'm trying to have the most hours of boring streams of anybody. I think 150 might be too big. Let's do 125, because word speed is also, it's still not quite. And once again, though, like, we don't know if there's another language is going to be really, really big, a really long word. I think that's fine. Let's see what it looks like with a number in there. Just because I don't like that this thing moves around, too. See that? It's moving around. I mean, it doesn't really matter for now, but all right, that's fixed. What were we about to do? Something about under construction. Oh, I stopped it. We can do this. Casper, are you a game developer yourself, or just a developer in general? Thanks, man. I plan. I was saying earlier that I hadn't done any programming all week, and besides like 15 minutes on a different game, and it's kind of telling myself, oh, I'm going to stream every week, and kind of makes me continue to work on this. I like to flake out on stuff, and so this kind of keeps me doing stuff. Okay, well, that's in alphabetical order, so that doesn't help us. Let's restart here. We're going to do this in a different... Let's put, O first. And do we want this to be alphabetized? I guess we do. There's a bunch of things that this is going to actually change dramatically in the next couple of weeks. I was thinking about this a lot. So the issue is here, they fit down here, but we need a ton more information down here. There's obviously a lot of room on this screen, and so we can make these much larger, and we can just put big squares at the bottom. The best one to look at actually is production, because that's 3 of them. We could put much larger ones over here and just push this stuff up, or we could even have split this down the middle and have all this information over on the left, and then I have and maybe that's what I'll do. I was thinking about it without looking at the actual screen. I was like laying in bed or something, and I was like, you know what? There's so much information, and it'd be kind of nice to have. I mean, we need to have, and I kept saying, well, we don't really need this information, but then I was like, you kind of do, because when I play a strategy game, I like to like really look at everything and just be like, do I want to do this? I basically have a hard time making decisions. So I need as much information as I can get. And since I don't want these to be clickable, like I want them just to have all the information, I think we'll make them bigger and we'll move them over here. And these are the same as these things. They just have different labels showing. So I think, and then we can make this a different size too if we need to. We could move them down. We could have 3 rows or something. I was thinking about making the under construction its own row, or column, I guess actually is the word I want. I used Unity originally. I don't know if you start at the very beginning. I used Unity originally, and then I switched over this just because of I didn't like their business practices. In open source, I would way rather go for open source stuff anyways. Let's see here. So I guess the reason I was bringing that up is because do we even care about alphabetizing this right now? When something starts building, it needs to be on the left panel. Multiple copies of the same building should fix this. I guess we will alphabetize this, because if you had a bunch of shit, it'd be hard to find. I was thinking leaving it in the order might be okay. Like, you know what? Let's double check something too while we're here. Okay. Yeah, let's alphabetize this. It shouldn't be that big of a deal. And we can always fuck with it later. That is the county improvements control. And it's this one. And create all county improvement buttons. Let's see what this does. This is going through list and generates them, the county improvement list. So there's the all county improvements under construction. So the under construction one is putting on the left panel container parent. Yeah, so we have the current. Yeah, we have these guys. One of these, you know what I'm doing is, I thought I was doing it here. I thought I was alphabetizing it here, but I'm actually alphabetizing the list in a different spot. It's when I think they're getting added in. When a new item gets added in, yeah, that's when it alphabetizes the list. Or on the right-hand side, these ones are alphabetized. Or at least they should be. Looks like it. That one is not. I thought I was. I wonder if it's getting thrown off by the translation. Let's look at when that happens there. So that is going to be during faction generation. You get all of those. No, it's under when you research and it's completed. So the research gets completed and it gets added onto that list, which I thought we had in here. Research item data is what I want. Complete research. So this adds it to the faction. The faction goes through it. All the county improvements are ordered by improvement name. I think it's happening. I think the Spanish is throwing it off because it's alphabetizing it by word, whatever. What is this thing in English? Not that. This is Jordan. County improvement, a garden, garden. EFG. No, even if it was in English, it's still not, it's not alphabetized. This should be above it, but what is this one, I guess, would be the other question. That one is lumberjack. So this one would be, so it is in the, if it's in English. Let's do something just real quick. Let's go back to our localization. And local, what is this? Localization. Let's turn this off. Let's go to here and we'll see how this works out. If this is alphabetized on this one. Maybe it has something to do with because it's turned off. No, it is. I think it's the translation. So it's going like it's going down the list, right? I think what it's doing is it's where's my improvement? It's going down this list and it's going, you know, improvement description or improvement wherever fishers and garden, and it's doing this part. It's translating this. So basically we need to do this. We need to do the alphabetizing when it's translated. Order by improvement. I wonder if I can just like go like TR. Will it really let me do that? If it's that easy, I'm going to be shocked and happy. Both at the same time. I don't feel like that's going to work though. This is a ChatGPT thing. ChatGPT said do it. Actually, it said to do it similar to this, and then Visual Studio said, why don't you, you know, control whatever to do it. Oh, that's not going to do us any good here. And here we go again. And there we go. That really, I can't, that's pretty awesome, honestly. That worked that well. I am shocked. All right, but we're going to need this for when we add something to the under construction list or the other list, we're going to want to alphabetize it. I think right now that's the easiest way to find stuff. So we're going to have two different spots. You click that button. You click this button, which is a button itself. This is the county improvement button. We're going to go. There should be some sort of button. Look at all this shit. Check for under build this thing. You've pressed the, no, this is just the building button. That's named wrong, but that's okay. This makes the county, the build confirmation button to appear, which is here. And what does this thing do? Puts that dialogue there. And hey, Lord Mac, how's it going? Build county AI build improvement. So then the banker charges for the building. This updates the resource labels. So if we fix the, oh, this is the top bar. I was like, why are we doing that? I'm going to put this, removes the cost of the building. Create all county improvement buttons, and that's going to recreate the county improvement buttons. So somewhere between these two things is where we gotta, man, my control thing stopped working again. I can't figure out why that suddenly stops working. County AI, I think I have open somewhere, I thought. Maybe not. Maybe not. Let's see if it will let me do it from here. Nope. I feel like it's something wrong with my computer. Like I keep saying, I feel like I gotta reinstall Windows somewhere. The thing just works shittier and shittier every day. Where are we going here? We're going scripts. County AI. County. Really? That was under the dialog box. Here it is. It says build. Yeah, County AI. Maybe I can't go to them when they're this way? Seems strange. Uh, decide build county improvements under construction. So then we need to county data, this thing, under construction. Under construction. Why didn't it like that? Let's go back. Like I said, I didn't write this, so I'm not, I mean, I guess it doesn't count. So I think we got to do county data here. Oh, it's going to want a link or whatever. Does not oh, it's a public class. Except Godot is up there. Is translate might be part of a translate might not be part of Godot. It might be like another thing, like part of a node or something. Godot translates. I think you can write the full thing out too if we have to. I remember doing it somewhere and it like auto-populated what I needed. I think I did like, it was something though. Not that, obviously. Game object top class. There's like node. Maybe that's a good idea. Whoops. I thought it said in the documentation where this stuff, like what it was under, but I don't see that. I thought it said what node it was in. Let's see. Where did I just translate that other one? Because then we can look at least and see. That was under the bill. No, that was under when we added. It was when we completed a research. And then under here, faction data as a resource, I think. No, I'm positive. So that's under resource. What does this tell us? Oh, there's a Godot object. Dot. Is that a thing? Object.tr. Let's try it. Get out of here. I don't think system is what we want there. I think we need a Godot thing. I swear I had to do this somewhere else. It had other options I wanted to see. Oh. No, for GD script, it likes the lower case stuff, but for C#, it's almost all the capital things. I did this somewhere else. I forget where it was, and I remember going through the same exact thing. I wonder if it was in this game. Let's look for translates. Oh my god, I gotta stop this ska that I'm listening to. Like I'm not. This is C#. The GD script is almost always the lowercase stuff. I'm not. Okay, wait. Here's what it is. What is this in? Oh, and this is so this is gonna fix it. It's translation server. Is that what this said on the documents? No. Are you a C# guy, Casper? I'm always looking for more C# friends. Even if they're not using Godot, I feel like there's so few C# Godot people. Nice. I know you said you were doing embeds and retro, etc. There, do you do web stuff? I know there's a lot of web things too. Yeah. So for generally when I Google stuff, it brings back the GD script, and it's almost always lowercase. That's not always, but it's usually like says like GD script. So I don't know if Joker's in chat. I don't think he is anymore, but he's a GD script guy, so he's like knows all that stuff. I guess he's also a C# guy. So this hopefully will do this. There's like this ongoing feud. I'm gonna call it a feud in the Godot community where they're like people are pretty passionate about you got to use GD script, and I since I came from Unity, and I also don't think it's that important. Like if you're more familiar with GD script, mine is, you know what I mean, for using Godot, but there's some people are very aggro about that shit. So we need to test this with this. Oh, I just saw a bug. Build improvement research office. I'm gonna take a screenshot of this just so I don't forget about it. And we're gonna fix that in a second here. For some reason, my screenshot tool is covering the whole goddamn screen over here. And then we do E, we have a bug. Failed to compare. I don't think I've seen this error before. I'm kind of excited. Failed to compare two elements in an array. At least one object must implement iCompare. What is this list? I think these are straight up lists, though, aren't they? They are. I assume this is where it's at. It's not going to tell me. It's not going to let me click on it. This is 53, which is, I think, where we're at. So it didn't have an issue with the first one. Improvements. Improvement name. So this is usually how I kind of learned to do new stuff is when I get a bug, because like I said, I don't know shit about this link thing, order by. It starts to make sense after I've tried to debug. Oh, is that what the issue? I wonder why it let us do it in the other thing, though. Where was that? That was research item data. No, it was under faction. I'm going to bring this back over and look at it, compare it to see what, maybe I have something else weird going on. And that was under County AI here. So for this, hey, the control works there. Order by, just making sure that that looks right. So we start out with this thing, which this is a list. I'm pretty sure this other thing is a list too. God damn it. This is also a list of county improvement data. This is a list of county improvement data. All right. So we have this. We go equals these dots, the thing we're doing. Then we go order by, and then improvement, the lambda or whatever the fuck that's called. And then translate improvement name. Improvement name. Order by improvement. So this thing must, you're like kind of telling it. So this is kind of like a for each loop, sort of. And you're, where you do, I don't have one around right here, where you're saying, calling it whatever the fuck you want in it. And then it translates this stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if we can test this somehow. I get so many spam calls. I wonder if we can test this right here. Actually, the first time it did something, it worked. we could also do this. And see what happens. Yeah, there are some Godot things like that where you have to find some crazy workarounds. And that's part of like the two factions. I actually read like this. There was a GitHub. Not, it wasn't an issue. It was you can put in like requests, feature suggestions or something where they get rid of GD script completely. And holy shit, man, there was people getting flipping the fuck out in there. So is building is what we can look at here. So this, we haven't done this. I was thinking what we would do. Let's do the first one because it worked with the first one, but it's not going to have to order it, you know, because so I guess that doesn't really give us a good test. So it's going to skip that though, probably because it knows that it's only one, so it doesn't need to do this. So let's add a second one just because. And then we get our bug here. Failed to compare two elements in an array. What was the thing? There is a Godot sort thing. And I remember Joker talking about it actually. He said, oh, why aren't you using Godot sort? And I said, what? No, we got to do the thing. We can do a sort. Array object was sorting by distance. But that might only be a GD script. Well, I mean, it should be part of it. I'm just looking. I guess I could docs. I would have to switch it to like some sort of. I don't think it can do it with a. I don't think it can do it with a. Yeah, there's sort. But this is with a C# list. This is an array that they're using, but numbers sort. So I wonder. I skipped this song that you guys can't hear. I skipped this song, and then right as it got to the part, I was like, oh, I actually remember this song. So I wonder if we can just go like what it will do if I just like go sort at the end of this. And how it would work with the C# list. Sorts the element in the entire system's collection using the default comparer. Sort the element in the left-hand side of an assignment must be a value property or indexer. This is going to be weird if I use different types of sorting, though. GitHub's Alt-O. Usually you get a flashing thing on your... Alt-O. But this looks like, to me, this is a C# thing. There was another way. I remember when I was asking ChatGPT this, there was like, you could do it you could do it different ways. And this one I wanted, this is the sort in place version, meaning like it would sort the actual, it wouldn't give you a new list, it would sort the actual list. Uh, the left-hand side of the assignment must be a value. Oh, so do we go like, let's pretend here. Get this shit out of here. No. Must be a value, property, or indexer. Let's look at this. Let's go back to our thing here. Not there. None of these things. None of these things. Let's see if we can use this to sort list by property. What does this do? That's not going to help us. Sort list by amount. If you want to sort the original list in place, you can use this sort. This is actually, I think, let's ask it specifically. I think I was saying this on my Discord. I thanked ChatGPT yesterday. It's like, why did I do that? It's like when you thank your cat or you apologize to your cat or whatever, you like apologize to like a door that you bumped into or a wall or something. It's just built in. How do I alphabetize this? Yeah, it's spelled wrong. I'll figure it out. It's a list. So this is the order by thing. Good God, I'm getting into Pennywise. I don't want to listen to Pennywise. What happens if I can't use... We'll sort the list alphabetically in ascending order. If you want it to be in descending alphabetically, you could use descending order. What if I can't use link? Or let's say order by. You can use the sort method available on lists, which allows you to specify a custom compare for sorting. Is a list of strings. It's a list of, oh, okay, wait. Can I do this? Let's see. I think I understand what this is telling me is my problem over here. It wants a thing to sort it by. Improvement name, or I think. What is this? Improvement name. Count under construction county improvement. I don't know enough about the Lambda things. What is the improvement? Did I just call it name? This is... Okay, I guess I was wrong about my guess there. What does this thing say? Lambdas, I'm still scared of the lambdas. I use them when I'm required to, but I'm still scared of them. If you're sorting property based on a property that you can provide, okay, so this is what I needed, that I didn't read the next line. I should have just continued reading the next line. Compare X. Sort X. I only want one parameter. Name. Oh, wait. What is this XY thing? Let me go back over here. Let's go back over here. Okay, so I could put sort like improvement here, and then do improvement name here. Yeah, Casper. I think we're on the same path, but you're seeing it. Improvements, and then I go like this, I think, and then we go improvements name or improvement name, and then it doesn't like this anymore though. It's not a delegate. No. X is county improvement data object. You got to leave X in here. Must be X and Y. Really? Oh, well, I can do this. It's upset about the thing down here. Here, we can comment this out so that I will stop looking at that. There we go. Now, to type I compare because it's not a delegate type. The hell does that mean? Introduce local for X. What does this thing say at the bottom? You have to have both? Comma Y. I'm gonna have to look into this more. Improvement name. Thank you. It's got to have both. What is this? This approach, if you can't or prefer not to use link. It's nice that it clarified that if you just don't want to use it. This uses string compare. Why? I'm going to ask it. Why do I need both? Why do I need both X and Y? Thank you, Casper, by the way. Here's why. The delegate compares X and Y to determine the relative order. It returned. Oh, so I could use two different things? So I could compare two. Huh. I thought I had a sneeze about to happen. I think I do, but it's not doing. Positive number. The sort method uses this comparison to arrange the entire list. By comparing a pair, it figures out where each element should be positioned. Okay, here's a visual explanation. Consider a list of strings, banana, apple, cherry. The sort method compares banana X with apple Y. Since apple is alphabetical, the comparison returns a positive number, including banana. The process repeats for all of them. So you could theoretically do a different thing here. Like, whatever, if you had two different strings and you wanted to compare them. I think that's what it's saying. Let's see what happens when we run this. I commented this shit out down here. And I guess we can leave that commented out. Didn't know that the fucking translating of whatchamacallit would be the alphabetizing. I figured that would be, it's always that way though, I think. Every time okay, no bug there. And a bug. Failed to compare two elements in the string. Is that the same one that I got over here? Failed to compare two elements in the array. At least one object must implement iCompare. So we basically didn't solve any of our issues. Let's double check. But it works with the other one. The other one is this one on the right. And it is sorting it. But this is a public class versus the other one, and we're forcing this translation server thing. Actually, We didn't do the translation. We didn't translate these. So the translation isn't the problem, it's something else. So this is the status. What's going on here? So we build improvement. We add this thing in there. And it's so the first one it doesn't have a problem with because there's only one of them. Well, we actually have two. What is this going on here? We have two things in there. Let's try it again here. I don't know if that's has anything to do with anything, but let's see. I'm gonna call it a day here soon too. I actually feel like I got a lot done even though it was like two little things. It's weird how that happens. Okay, so that sort was fucking it up. What happens if we do the same thing? What happens if they're all the same thing? We wanted to make a bunch of the same thing. It's that stupid handle is not initialized. I still think that it's because I'm not unsubscribing from an event somewhere. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Let's do all Station de I'm not gonna try. Oh, let's fix this too. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, but I just wanted to make sure that it worked. So only 500 hours. Well, I appreciate the help so far. It's Taryn, that guy, the person I was talking to earlier in chat. I needed it's very common for people in chat to mention something, and I actually have either in the list over here. And sometimes I oh, I don't want to use that, but it's because I don't understand it. But it's like dependency injection, C# interfaces. But I need to run into something where like an interface, for example, would be perfect to use. And every time I think I have one, so I can learn that next thing, I don't. It isn't necessary, and so I go back to the old way. But like sorting and all this stuff, whatever. So chat is always very helpful with pushing me to the next level of learning, I guess. So I wanted to fix one thing. What is this? This is on the "Are you sure you want to build?" That's the building dialog here. We should be able to all text dialog. Oh, this is old school. This is how I was doing it before. I should delete this file. I'm gonna put that on my list. And we'll do that like first thing tomorrow. Delete the all text file so we are forced to translate all of that. So we'll do that first thing tomorrow, and then that'll be one less. Then we can delete that file. And then, but in the meantime, what we'll do, you don't want to do it? Sometimes it's very touchy. Come on. If you could, there we go. There we go. There we go. Exactly. It's like I got to get all my sidetracking done. So this thing should just be able to be capital T. Look at this. I have like just a bunch of spaces at the end of this. And then this, though, we need to put into here. This is going to be county. This is going to be a phrase. Building buildings. What does this thing actually say? Are you sure you want to build a building? Build, improve, build, improvement, confirm. Build, improvement, confirm. Are you sure you want to build a... Yeah, this should be fun. I was thinking this space might be a problem. Like, we might have to put a space in there. There's a way to, in this little thing, you can put in, like, variables and stuff, but I actually haven't had to do that yet. Um, it seems at the beginning I really, really like the project management, but now that it's this big, like, it just keeps going, on my thing. It seems to work worse and worse. Like this, the thing where I was kind of struggling to do this, there's actually like a ton of lag behind this now at this point. And sometimes you can go like this and sometimes you can't. It just doesn't work. And so it's the little things that are fine that I find annoying. I actually started, I liked this done thing over here. Just, I don't know. I just kind of like to see how many were in there, and it kind of like felt good to be like, oh, I've finished 250 things. But I noticed that if I get rid of these, if I go like whatever, archive, it actually seems to improve the performance. Basically, I don't think it can handle the amount of shit I'm doing. There's a mod for CK3 for Prince of Darkness. Princes of Darkness. I don't know if I still have access to it. I wrote an article about them, and I don't think they meant to give me access to their project. But they had, yeah, they took it away from me. Because I pointed it out, and they're like, I can see all your stuff. They gave me access to something, but it was holder for the public wiki. That wasn't what I wanted. But anyways, they had this project that they used that was fucking amazing. It was all color coded. It was hugely useful. I wish I could still see it. It was so impressive. I wonder if they had all sorts of issues with the same issues I'm having with it just lagging out. Uh, I use Trello as well, and I don't know. I've never used Trello to this point with this much stuff, so I don't know if it would also lag out. Yeah, that Princes of Darkness project that they had was fucking insane with how organized it was, and it was quite impressive. What was I doing here? Oh, I was doing the translation. Then I'm going to call it a day. Did I finish typing this in here? Did I translate it? I did not. Let's do this. And this goes there. And we actually need that still. And we need to go back to... this is the thing we're going to have here. And I think we need to TR this thing. And this, it doesn't know what this is, so I think we got to do this. I might have to turn this into a variable or something like I did that one day. But I think the problem is this is going to smush this together. So I think we're going to want to do like this. Squigs. Get this thing out of here. I think I had to make it. This is one of those examples of weird shit. You know what I can do instead, though, actually? Just out of laziness to see if it will work. Well, both things. This needs to be... I went too far. Guess we can just go forward. And then we can just do plus. And we already have a plus there. Now let's see if this works. You need to tag job by place where it works, work logic, or draw sprites, and in that case, you'll be able to filter your board according to places where you're working at. Don't know how it works in GitHub, but there must be. There is a tag thing. You're talking about in this thing. Um, there is a whole. I don't think it's. There's another way to do it. That might be a bad example there that I clicked on. Let's see if this thing. This translated. I think this is going to be that same pain in my ass. Where I had to turn this into a. I mean, it wasn't that big of a. It was just. I think I had to do this thing. Why? What was the reasoning behind that? I figured it out at some point what was going on. Why I had to do that. Back to this. Labels? You need to tag job by place where it works, work logic, or draw sprite. In that case, you'll be able to filter your board according to. Maybe that's what, like, I set up a bunch of these things. Instead of doing it this way, where I have a tab for each one of these. So this is basically the order of what I'm working on, except it's. And then when I'm working on. This actually should be down here. When I'm working on the next thing, I bring it over to in progress. Then I move this tab over. This isn't a tab, whatever. This column. And then when then I go down the list until I get to the next round, which then that's for like, this is back to the ideas and stuff. So when someone is suggesting in chat, or if I come up with something that I want to do, but I don't want to do it right now, I put it in the next round, and then those things kind of build up, and then we go down the whole list. That's the whole idea, at least. Kind of works. Research is it's hugely important right now, so it keeps being brought back up to the top. And there's a huge amount of research ideas over here too. Let's see here. We want to go to here. What was I can't remember why. There was something special I had to do. Oh, you know what it could be? Let's make sure that this is the same phrase. Build, improvement, confirm. Looks like there's no typos there. Phrase, let's just copy and paste it. I think I did, but I did this recently and went through this whole thing, and then I figured out what the issue was later. And now I can't remember what it was. Like it didn't like this or something. I can't remember. Let's put that on our list though. Let's go here. Fix translation of. I know what the problem is. I just remembered. You gotta re-import this fucking thing. It's not gonna let me because it's open. That's the problem. That was the thing. That's what was happening. Main thing on one screen, and I am, yeah, really a lot of it is my terrible memory. Like a lot of it is I come up with an idea or someone suggests something, and I know I'm not gonna. There we go. Motherfucker. The only thing is it needs to have a question mark at the end. I wonder if Well, what if this is in English? Because then we can just stick a question mark at the end. But then there's other languages that are going to be different. Yeah, and then there's other times I go back and look at the list of stuff and I can't remember what I was talking about. Like, what was this thing that I was... Yeah, so we can just stick a question mark at the end. I assume there any languages that don't use a question mark? I mean, there's got to be bunches of them, right? There's got to be. I was about to say, most Asian languages, um, like Arabic, probably. Latin, Arabic uses the question mark. Did we get the question mark from Arabic? Uh, yeah, so that's going to be when we try to translate this, it's going to be a problem. Mm, but for now, we will just stick a question mark at the end of this. And I probably should change this into a string thing instead of this, but that'll work for now. All right, let's push this code to GitHub. What did I do today? I you could put text like, "Do you want?" and use string format. Translate key later in the code. I'm not sure what you mean, but I'm not gonna worry about it right now. So what did I do today? My cat's on the move. That means he's about to start just meowing. Uh, I get what you mean. Yeah. No, that's a good idea. No, that's a great idea. I'm gonna put that so I don't forget. Let's set, or I guess create translation for a key such as question mark. Yes, that is an excellent idea. It's not going to go down here, but we're going to convert it to a thing here. And then I guess we should put this in here. We'll put it over here. And what did I do today? So today, Taryn, I have looked at stream format a bunch, and for the clock, the stupid clock, which I do need to rewrite the clock thing somehow. It doesn't. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that. So the issue with the clock is that it goes too fast sometimes, so it skips numbers. So I have to do the hours, the minutes skip numbers, but I might actually just change how the clock is. Like maybe we don't even give a shit about the minutes. I mean, that's basically what we're doing right now, but uh, like maybe we just take this out. So let's stop this thing though. Finished adding equipment and started on updating. I guess we didn't really start on this. We looked at it, started and suggested that I would start working on county improvements. There we go. We're gonna commit all of this stuff, close this thing for numbers. push that. In general, there are tools for localization in net core for numbers, strings, and time. All you need to do is read the documentation. Um, and yes, it's very huge. Yeah, I don't know. Like that sounds like something I'm probably gonna have to do for the next question mark thing. I'm curious how it would work with. Yeah, I'm curious how it's gonna work because for that, it's translating the beginning of it with the question mark. I don't know. It's not like hugely important right now, but I want to get the things started, so that I have less work of the agony of just doing all of the localization at once. If you want to, if you want to, if you want to install Godot, it's pretty tiny. It's not like Unity. Unity's crazy. Same with Unreal. Unreal was more crazy. But anyways, that's it for me today, guys. Thank you for joining me and for the help. And I will talk to you next time. Have a good rest of your weekend.